I'm about to bust. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the bathroom. Oh, good lord.
Welcome to this special Christmas themed video. I don't know what I'm doing right now. So today on this special episode of whatever Mac's doing when he feels like it, I will be doing a tier list. I found a tier list on tierlistmaker.com, and I'm going to tier list a bunch of different Christmas movies. We're going to rank them in different order. So let's just get right into it. Intro over. Transition now.
I have just one query.
Want a Sprite cranberry?
The answer is clear. It's the thirstiest time of the year. Sprite, let's go.
So for this tier list, we have top of the nice list, which means like S tier movies. Great, which means that they're good, but they're not at that upper room level of echelon. Then we have all right. All right means that they're okay, middle of the pack. You can put it on during the Christmas movies. Not the best means it's just it's all right. Like it's not going to watch it every Christmas season. And we got ho horrible, which are terrible movies, and then we have the haven't seen options. So I think this explains yourself. So what's your picks for these movies? So let me know in the bottom comment section below. So starting off, we're going to be doing with 2021's Noel on Disney Plus. Now this movie, I really feel like that I covered this year in the 25 days of MMR Xmas. I thought it was okay. Like it wasn't the best like Christmas movie of all time. It was like I thought it was gonna be a musical, but seeing the perspective of Santa's kids being the namesake of the being like in the forefront instead of you know instead of Santa Claus himself. I thought that was a really good idea. And Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick had tremendous chemistry. So I'm gonna put Noel in the all right category because I feel like that movie's just all right. Next up, we have Drake and Josh's Christmas. Now, oh my goodness, Drake and Josh Christmas. That's the one thing I remember watching as a kid a lot. That had me my introduction to Kimbo Slice, which was absolutely amazing. But what Drake Bell's doing nowadays. So I'm gonna put Drake and Josh Christmas. Great. While it had its flaws being a TV movie and everything like that, I think Drake and Josh as a whole did a great job with its Christmas specials and such, and I really did enjoy Drake and Josh Christmas so good. The night before, 2015, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, and Anthony Mackie. Now this movie is like forgotten because it took place. God, it was like this movie came out 7 years ago in 2015, and I think maybe all like 10 people saw it. I think there was 10 people in our theaters when we went to go see it, and I barely remember anything about this movie, but I do remember seeing it, and I thought it was okay. Like I wouldn't say like it had its moments because I really did like the themes of like, hey, friends will grow up, we can go to this party that you can only get an invite to it. And I thought that was a really good premise, but I'm gonna put Night Before and All Right because it's not that memorable for me to really judge it concretely, but I will say that it was all right. Next up, we have Adam Sandler's Eight Crazy Nights. So, Eight Crazy Nights, that's actually one of the few holiday films that covers Hanukkah in the 8 days of Hanukkah. And I thought that was an interesting concept. Now, from the recent years, I've seen a lot of people shit on this movie for some reason, and I have no idea why. I think it's a good movie. Like, for one of Adam Sandler's projects, I think this was actually a very good film, especially with the animation being from the same team from the Iron Giant. I just love that quality about it, and I think that it is overly hated, honestly. And I'm gonna put it in a great section. I think this movie's good, but I think some of the jokes are a little bad. But I still have a sauce for it, and I think it's one of Adam Sandler's better underrated movies. Next up, we have A Christmas Story, which many consider the greatest holiday film of all time. That is going to the top of the nice list. So this movie is very split. You have the people who say that the movie sucks or is overrated. I think it's just rated. I think once you watch it over and over again, especially the tradition that TNT and TBS does when they play it 24 hours on Christmas Eve to Christmas Day every year, like for not 24, 12 hours of this movie. It's a fun, simple time, but just you growing up as a kid wanting that one toy you wanted for Christmas. I think it's a relatable film. I haven't seen the new one yet, so we will see what maybe past recording editing Mac will find a way to watch it and put his thoughts about it. But no, I love A Christmas Story, man. It's so funny. It's quotable too. I just love it. Next up, we have Charlie Brown's Christmas. Charlie Brown's Christmas. You're going on top of the nice list too. I mean, that's just another iconic movie. So I put these two movies here because it's not really being iconic, it's more being good too. I think Christmas Story and Charlie Brown Christmas are both good movies. I think Charlie Brown Christmas is really, it's just a good film. So I can't have any animation quality. You know, if you like the Peanuts and everything, this is a special that you have to watch. It's a necessity to watch. Next up, we have Robert Zemeckis' 2009 A Christmas Carol. I'm gonna put this in the all right tier. So this was one of the last movies that he did with his motion capture studios, Imagine Movers, I think that's what it was called, and it had Jim Carrey play Ebenezer Scrooge and the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future. And while the story was, you know, we've seen it before, the animation was just straight terrifying. This really felt like a Victorian era horror movie, and it was freaking terrifying. Like my god, but I still like the performance of Jim Carrey, and some of the animation besides the terrifying motion capture, it was actually really good with the animated the story you've seen 100 times, so you know what else you're gonna do. Next up, we have Tyler Perry's A Medea's Christmas. That's going in not the best, because while I'm tempted to put it in ho ho horrible, it's not ho ho horrible. It actually is kind of entertaining in a way. It's one of his better movies. It's better than Boo Halloween. I'll leave it like that. Next up, we have Arthur Christmas in 2011. I'm gonna put Arthur Christmas. It's such an I'm gonna put it as top of the nice list. This is probably one of the most underrated Christmas movies ever. You have Santa's younger brother going to deliver one gift to a kid he forgot, and it's just a nice adventure of wacky hijinks. And I think James McAvoy is the voice of Arthur, and I thought this was a very unique film. A lot of this great animation, a good story, and I like the characters too. And some of the jokes, man, they were absolutely hilarious. I think this movie is like really slept under. I remember it came out, no one really watched it, so you know. Next up, we have Bad Santa. Bad Santa, I'm gonna put Bad Santa in great too. We don't talk about Bad Santa 2, but the first Bad Santa was always, you know, it's fun. Billy Bob Thornton is hilarious. I love it. We have Bah Humbug Christmas next. I'm gonna put that in the all right tier. Like I said, it's another retelling of the Christmas Carol story. This time it's just using Daffy Duck as Ebenezer Scrooge, just putting it in a more modern spin to it. And I thought that was a good idea to do that. And, you know, it was fine. I remember they played this on Cartoon Network a few times, but I barely remember it anymore. But yeah, so Barbie, I'm going to put that in haven't seen. Beauty and Beast haven't seen. Babes in Toyland haven't seen. Casper's Haunted Christmas. Put that in all right. I'm put that in the great tier, because who doesn't love Casper? I mean, come on, I love Casper growing up. This is one of my favorite specials. Daddy's Home 2, I'm gonna put this here in haven't seen, unfortunately. Now, next up, the most controversial pick, Die Hard. So there's been that always the debate: is Die Hard a Christmas movie or is it not a Christmas movie? I'm on the side that it is a Christmas movie, because if it's not about, it doesn't have to be a Christmas movie when it doesn't directly talk about Christmas. Like, come on, guys. So, but being as it is, Die Hard's going to the top of the nice list, because Die Hard is a fantastic action movie, and like I said, it is a Christmas movie. Suck it. Next up, we have Deck the Halls. Deck the Halls, I'm going to put that in the great tier. That's another classic comedy Christmas movie, you know. Elf. I mean, Elf is going to the top of the nice list. Like, come on. Elf is another iconic film with very quotable lines and quotable moments. Pretty much helped launch Will Ferrell into comedy hearts and minds in the 2000s. He was big before that. It's just this helped him like shape right into the stratosphere with Elf. I'm going to put this one that I haven't seen either. Ernest says, nope, I haven't seen this one. I came Four Christmases. I mean, I'll put that not the best. It was okay. Fred Claus. I'll put that in, you're gonna go in all right. I like Vince Vaughn. I thought this movie was fine. It wasn't like, you know, the best or anything, but you know, Friday After Next, you're going into the great tier. This movie is absolutely funny. I quote this movie the most out of the Friday series. I know the first Friday movie is always seen as like the one you quote the most out of, but Friday After Next, man, I was watching it the other day and it is so funny, man. I absolutely loved it. It's funny. Friday After Next, perfect.
You got a lot of balls.
Next up, we have Frosty the Snowman. Don't know which Frosty this is. This looks like the 2000s version of it, so I'm gonna put that in the great tier, because that was a good one, and the original Frosty can go in there too. You know, looks like this one is good. Have not seen this one. Gremlins. Forgot Gremlins is a Christmas movie, but it's going top in the nice list because Gremlins is very iconic, to be honest. Next up, we have Happiest Season. That's going to be a no for me. I've not seen that movie. Home Alone 3. All right. The last Home Alone movie written by John Hughes. I'll say it like that. Home Alone, that's going into the not top of the nice list. Again, that's an iconic film. Kevin McAllister and the Wet Bandits are legends. Same with Home Alone 2. Actually, I'll put Home Alone 2 in the great tier because Home Alone 2 managed to take what made the first movie and amplify it just by having him in the big city. And I thought that was absolutely like entertaining and funny to have in the film. So I'll give Home Alone 2 in the great tier. Next up, a controversial pick. I'm going to put the live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas. That's going into the all right tier. Listen, everyone, it's actually, I'm gonna put it in a great tier, but it's might go in the okay tier. Listen, it's not top of the nice list because that movie is terrifying with this graphics, and the reason for that, I'm putting the original animated one in the top of the nice list. I think that the live action Grinch movie, it was fine, just more just
I don't like that shit.
it was just terrifying, man. I like Jim Carrey. He carried that movie, but Jesus Christ. I know one person who's gonna be pissed at that ranking, but leave it down in the comments below. Next up, if It's the Wonderful Life, there's no doubt that's gonna be top of the nice list, of course. Jack Frost, one of the two horror movies with the same name of Jack Frost. I'm gonna put Jack Frost in I'm gonna put it in the great tier. This movie was actually really funny. If you've never seen Jack Frost, I highly recommend you watch it. It's kind of like a so bad it's kind of good movie. Jingle All the Way, that's going into the great tier as well. That is Arnie classic along with Sinbad. Both had tremendous chemistry. Krampus. I'm gonna put Krampus in the great tier too. I think Krampus is a very underrated horror movie, especially during the Christmas times. And considering we had like a lot of knockoff Krampus movies back in 2015 when this movie came out, I think Krampus fits well in its own niche, like genre. And I think it kind of helped kick off the horror holiday renaissance of the 2010s. Like I've seen a lot more horror movies in Christmas thanks to Krampus. I don't think if it was for Krampus, then we would have a lot more of it. Like I know we can say Black Christmas was the first one to do it in 1974, but I think that Krampus really helped get its footing back. This last holiday, I'm gonna put that in the great tier. I'm gonna put that in the all right tier. Actually, that's a fine film. What's this? I Love Actually. That's gonna be a great movie. Mickey's Christmas Carol. That's going into the top of the nice list. That's one of the most iconic Mickey Mouse and Friends Disney like things of all time. The second one, it was okay. So we have the original Miracle on 34th Street and then the remake they did with Matilda. So the remake was all right. I'll put the remake here in the all right tier. Like it was still managed to keep the original feeling of it like it did with the original one, but it was just okay. Like it didn't really stand out to me or anything like that. However, I will put the original Miracle on 34th Street in the top of the nice list because of course it's an iconic film. It's really good and it holds up almost. I think it came out in the 1930s, so it's about like a couple decades old and it still holds up. Goose Christmas, I have not seen that one. Muppets Christmas Carol, you're going into the great tier. That's one of the best Christmas movies, especially with the Muppets media I've seen. So yes please. What's this one? I don't know what is this one. I'm not seeing because I don't know what it says. National Lampoon's A Christmas Vacation. That's going into the top of the nice list too. What more can I say about that one? That kind of kicked off the whole like Lampoon like media franchise. Come on. Nightmare Before Christmas. You're also going to the top of the nice list. Now there's the debate either if Nightmare Before Christmas should be a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie. Now for that, I think it's interchangeable as both because I really feel like it captures both the spirit of Halloween and Christmas at the same time. All of the other reindeer, I'll put you as well in the top of the nice list. I grew up with this movie a lot and I loved it. Drew Barrymore as Olive the other reindeer was awesome. I love the songs to it. It's such an underrated movie like that, I don't even know if you consider it a movie. It's kind of like a special. It used to play on Fox and on Cartoon Network, but I liked it though. And also, fun fact, Matt Groening from Simpsons worked on this. More you know. Next up, we have Office Christmas Party. Not the best, Rise of the Guardians. This is going to the top of the nice list. This is a very underrated animated film. It kind of came out I forgot when its release date was, that it just didn't have a chance to compete with the big boys in the box office, and it just didn't do well in the box office to warrant that memorability, but it has a cult like fan base. Like, well, not cult like, that's kind of stuff. It has a very strong following. It's become like a cult classic, and there are talks to maybe revisit this franchise. And I think there's a lot of stories to be told. If Netflix's Sandman has done anything, I think we can get another look into the Rise of the Guardian series. Next up is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Of course, it's going to the top of the nice list. I love it. Next up, we have Rudolph, another Rudolph one. I have not seen that one actually. Santa Buddies. It's all right. Like, I won't write home about it. Next up is the Santa Claus is coming to town. Put that at the top of the nice list because I remember that. Very Scrooge. That's also going to top of the nice list. That's Bill Murray's like feather in his cap next to Groundhog Day. Like, come on. So next up, we have a SpongeBob Christmas. I'm gonna put the SpongeBob Christmas in the top of the nice list too because SpongeBob Christmas that has that great song is like the very first Christmas to me. Like, that was good. I liked it. No problem. So next movie we have is Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell. I think that came out a few years ago on Netflix, and I'm gonna put that in the great tier. That was a fun Christmas movie, and I'd say Netflix has been killing it with this Christmas movie because if Claus is on here, I'd be loving that one. Next up is the 2018 The Grinch movie by Illumination with Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm gonna put that in the all right movie category because, like I said, I like the original animated one. I didn't see why we needed a new telling of it, like an Angry Bird style version of it by Illumination. Like, it was fine. Like, I'm not complaining or anything, but it was just okay. Perfect Holiday. I've not seen that one. Oh, my mistake. Christmas Chronicles 2. I have not seen the Christmas Chronicles 2. I've seen the first one. The first one's going to great tier. Whoops. So here's the 2006 Frosty Snowman movie. I'm gonna put it in not the best. It was okay, a little predictable. Animation was not that good, but I'll put that in the not best here. Polar Express. Oh wow, this is gonna be something. I'm putting Polar Express in the all right tier. Listen, okay, I get you'll be like, Mac, how can you put Polar Express on the all right tier? It should be either in the great or the top of the nice list here. You charlatan, how dare you? Well, I respond to that by saying you can take nostalgia glasses off and we can just see that Polar Express is an okay movie. Like, it's fine. It should not have been 90 minutes. The children's book is such like 40 pages long. Like, there's just a lot of filler in the movie. I didn't really care about the main character. I mean, the landscape shots were beautiful. Like, the part when the train was drifting along the ice, that was awesome. But the motion capture, again, looks terrifying. So yeah, I don't want that. Please, God help. No, I don't want it. But yeah, that's why I'm not really a big fan of Polar Express anymore. Like, I'll watch it, but I just don't really see the big hoopla about it after all these years of it being released. Next up is Tom Jerry's a Nutcracker Tale. I'm putting it on top of the nice list. That's probably one of the better animated. It's probably one of the better Tom and Jerry specials we got from the 2000s, and I will say that because I really enjoyed that movie. Next up, we have The Preacher's Wife. I'm gonna put that in the haven't seen list. And then we have Trading Places with Eddie Murphy, and Dan Aykroyd. I'm gonna put that in the top of the nice list because that movie, of course, is iconic too because it is really, really funny. And a remix probably coming soon. Then we have the Santa Claus. Santa Claus is going to go into the great tier, the top of a nice list. It's one of Tim Allen's best Christmas movies. Now, this one's going to be hard. This is Santa Claus 3 with oh my god, who was the villain? It was Jack Frost. I forgot who played Jack Frost. Now, I want to put this in the not the best tier, but I rewatched the other day and I said, wow, this is not a good movie. I'm going to put Santa Claus 3 in a horrible. And one time I would defend that, and it used to be my favorite in the series, but I rewatched it. I'm like, wow, this movie is not that good, like, at all. Like, jeez. Not seen this one. Haven't seen this one. 'Twas the Night. I have not seen that, unfortunately. All right, next up, Unaccompanied Minors. Unaccompanied Minors is going to go into the great tier. That is one of the more underrated holiday movies, especially it has Tyler James Williams. Everybody hates Chris. Like, you can't go wrong with that. Come on. Winnie the Pooh Christmas, I'll put that also in the great tier. Anything Winnie the Pooh is awesome. Christmas with the Cranks, that's going into the top of the nice list. That's another good one that I appreciate over time. We have The Year Without a Santa Claus. I have not seen that, unfortunately. Santa Claus 2, we're gonna put that in the all right tier. It was a fine sequel to the original one. Then we have an 8-Bit Christmas, which actually that was the first movie I reviewed this year in the 25 Days of Xmas, but not a great tier. It really was like I felt like a spiritual successor to Jingle All the Way. Instead of a toy, Turbo Man toy, it was the Nintendo and NES, and I really like that aspect. It really was like, hey, we're gamers too. Here's the culture, and it perfectly represented the culture of the 80s gaming boom during the holiday season. I loved it. Why him? Yeah, why him? Yeah. I've not seen this one. Nope. Tokyo God. No, I have not. Claus. I have seen Claus, and Claus can go into the top of the nice list. So that is a great movie. That's probably a great animated Christmas movie. I've covered that again on I think 2 years ago on the MMR Xmas Chris list, and it's such a great movie. If you haven't seen Claus, watch it. I highly recommend it. Remember That Night? Nobody have not seen that. Never heard of that. Nope. Me too. Nope. Wow, this is going by faster. Nope. Brady Christmas. I think I remember Brady Christmas. I'm gonna put the Brady Christmas in the great tier. I like Brady Christmas. That was like I kind of grew up with the Brady Bunch. Hawkeye, didn't really care to watch it. What was this one? Santa Inc. It was all right. There's nothing like that. I've seen this one. Nope. Holiday. Nope. Powerpuff Girls. I'll put that in the great tier. That was a good special. Bad Moms Christmas. That was all right. That one. I'm just gonna skip to the last one, and that's Die Hard 2. So Die Hard 2, is it a worthy sequel to the original Die Hard? Yes. Is it a good Christmas movie? No, not really. So I'm gonna put that in the great tier because it is just a fine movie. So here's our rankings overall. So we have top of the nice list right here. These are all our picks right here. You can see them in all their glory. Then we have the great tier, the all right tier, not the best tier, the whole horrible tier, and then the haven't seen tier. So obviously these are just my personal opinions of the movie, so you can be different. If you have any favorite Christmas movies or movies I talked about in here, let me know in the comments down below. What are some of your favorite Christmas movies, and what are some of your least favorites, and what are some choices that you agreed with me on this list? What are other ones you didn't agree with me with? Let me know in the comments below, and happy holidays, everyone. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.